Ugh. I'm doomed. I'm doomed. I was very eloquently describing how I'm not used to starting on YouTube. And it's weird because typically I have like a starting soon screen and I can just like turn my audio on and switch my scene and I'm good to go. But here I'm like, I start it and then I'm like looking at the monitor and I'm like trying to like time it when it's live and when it's not so I can start. And obviously I didn't turn my mic on or I wasn't really prepared at all for anything. So yeah, that's fun. But the thing is on YouTube, people just aren't expecting like a 10-minute starting soon screen. So I'm just trying to like get started as soon as possible, starting right at 6:30 rather than like 6:20 and having a starting soon screen. So maybe one day I'll get good at that, but maybe not. Anyway, thanks for hanging out. Today, it was actually kind of difficult to come up with something to do. The obvious thing is like finish the leg. We got the tattoos finished yesterday. I've got to work in some darks here. We got some pretty severe smudging going on, and I'm not sure what that is. It might be smudging from the tattoos. It could be some of the glaze underneath the tattoo. I'm not really sure, but this is making the leg look much like thicker than it actually is. But I can't actually do anything to this leg yet to make it match all the other limbs until that tattoo cures. And so I should definitely give it at least a week. To be safe, I probably should go more. Some of it's a little thick, especially in like some of the places where it like overlaps or like the lines converge. So I don't know, but I can't do that. And I'm running out of things to do. I have this checklist on my whiteboard right here by my PC. And the only things I have left are shadow on the arm of the chair cast by this person, which I can't do because yesterday I patched a spot here where there were like, I must have accidentally like got paint on the chair. There were some brown blobs that had to get fixed. So I can't do that because if I try and glaze over top of that, it's going to mix with the patch color, and that's a catastrophe in the making. The only real other things are moles on the arm. Also, I need some moles in here as well. I think the ones up here are good. I don't want to get crazy. I don't want this person to look like their like body is like 80% mole. So there's really only 2 on the arm, and I guess really just 1 in here. So really 3. That's going to take literally 2 seconds. I'm going to probably start with that. Pepper, get down, please. Pepper's trying to get on my PC. Come here. Say hi to the people. Say hi, Pepper. You haven't got 5 minutes of fame in a long time. No getting on my computer, please. Not only could it potentially overheat if she's blocking the airways. Airways? Is that a word? The vents. But also, my PC is on a table desk thing that's not too sturdy, and my camera's on top of it. So if she gets on my computer, you guys are going to get motion sickness. What's up, Janet? She needs to paint her cutie paws. Nah, she's good on painting. She never, ever wants to do that, ever. Trust me. Oh, what are you doing? What are you doing? Okay, 5 minutes is over. 5 minutes, fame's over. Ah. All right. Thank you for your service, Pepper. So in my excitement to be on YouTube again. So if you're just tuning in for the first time, this is only my third stream on YouTube, and it's my second kind of in a row, like week to week. I've been on Twitch for quite a long time, a year and a half at this point. And I mean, there's just no discoverability on Twitch. It's not really like, it's not working. Just in like the one stream last week was already like way more successful than my recent Twitch streams. So I'm kind of thinking I have to make a permanent move to YouTube, which sucks because there are things that are they're specific to Twitch, like the graphics in my about section that I had to come up with, the graphics in my my sub icons, my notifications, my Twitch subscribers in general, who are paying money, for access to emotes and emotes, another thing I won't have. But anyway, in my excitement to get things ready for YouTube, because I feel that that's an imminent change that has to happen, I wanted to replace my black background with something else. Now, if you're familiar with the process at all, you know you'd probably need a green screen. I have a green screen, but this is up against a wall, and so my green screen won't fit behind. It's also not big enough. And so I got this software specifically to recognize like me without a green screen. But the problem is that it only recognized me and it cuts the painting out. So that's probably not what I want to do, considering this is a painting stream. So I need to figure something out. Maybe I just get a giant green screen, just like the fabric, not like an actual like screen. That's one option. Because the black background just isn't doing it for me anymore. I'd much rather like anything, maybe anything that suggests I'm in a studio. Like I can't actually show my actual studio because it's so small and it's mostly PC and monitors. So that'll happen at some point, right? Maybe I'll order the green screen, the giant, just the fabric online. Can probably get that in like a week. Maybe be ready next week. Maybe not. Who knows? But I never did get into what I'm going to be doing after the 3 moles that will take literally 27 seconds. And that is light. I'm not going to, I don't know if I'm going to be casting too much light onto other things. I still want to be kind of completely done before I do that, but I might. But I want this to look like it's glowing. Right now it looks bright, but it doesn't look like it's glowing or casting light. And so I need to reference my buddy David Sheafitz and get this glowing. Essentially, to make this glow, we're going to take the hue. We're not going to add white to it. You may think, oh, it's casting light. We want it to be like super like high value, close to white. And that's going to make it look like it's glowing. And in some cases that does work when you're working with like a white light, right? In this case, we have a pinkish light that's being cast. So we're going to mix just pink. We might tint it a little bit with some white just to make it not like a middle value or significantly darker than the actual object itself. But that's going to be new for me. I have done this before, making things glow, but not in like a realistic setting. I have a mural that's in Scranton, and that uses this idea, but it's very abstract. I wasn't worried about brushstrokes being in the glow, and so now I'm going to be much more concerned about making it look natural. So hopefully that goes smoothly. And if it does, then we're talking about another few minutes, right? So at that point, I need to seriously think about what's going to happen. I may cast some light. I may just blab on about random stuff. Who knows? But anyway, that's what's on the docket for today. I hope everybody had a good Tuesday. Today's Tuesday, right? Yeah. Mine was pretty uneventful. Not a whole lot going on. Sadly, just Tuesday, yeah. Would be nice if this was like Friday or even like Thursday evening. Not too bad. But Tuesday evening, this is better than Monday morning. So, I guess we'll get started. I already have the color mixed for the moles. Actually, maybe not. I'm going to make it slightly warmer, just so it's more natural. The color I had mixed now is much more cool, way more ultramarine blue in it. So I'm essentially going to take some burnt umber and I'm going to mix my other color into it. Again, I don't have my palette camera set up because I'm listening to music and my palette camera is my phone. You're not going to miss anything. I'm mixing this with a color I already have mixed. When I'm mixing the color for this, I would actually like to show that. Maybe I'll turn my music off just so we can mix that on stream. Raquel says, just don't think about it. Yeah, I mean, the way time's going right now, like a week goes by like that. Like anyway, like it seems like I'm gonna like forget what I'm doing for a second, and then I'm gonna be like, oh crap, it's Friday morning. What the hell happened? So let me get this mixed. There's an update on the fight stick situation. If you saw yesterday's stream, you know that I got into it with Razer. I play fighting games. I wanted a Razer Panthera fight stick. They kind of screwed me over. So today, I really stuck it to them. I was considering still getting a Panthera, but buying it like from like a distributor. But then I'm thinking to myself, it's just still buying their product. It's still helping them. So I went rogue and I got a Hori Fighting Edge instead. It's not really the stick I want, but it's a good stick. I'm not worried about it, but this doesn't allow for modding, customization. It's just a solid, like, top tier fight stick. Whatever. I'm sure it will be delightful. It's not like I mod my sticks anyway. I've had 2 sticks that open up for modding, like with just like a little button, and they flip open on like a what do you call that, pneumatic little like hinge thing. And I've never actually modded either of them, so I don't know why I care if it's moddable or not. I mean, I'm sure the Hori Fighting Edge, sure I can still get into it if I want to change some buttons. The weird thing is it doesn't have Sanwa buttons and a Sanwa stick like almost every other arcade and or fight stick that exists. They have their own like proprietary buttons and stick called Hayabusa, I believe. And supposedly the stick is better than Sanwa. The buttons are like just objectively different. Rather than being concaved, they're convex, and they have a much lower profile, so you don't have to press, like there's not as much motion to them when you press them, which I don't know if I'm going to like or not. I mean, I hope I do. I mean, I'll get used to it either way, but I said I was going to do that while I was mixing this, and then I got sidetracked. My dark color is actually almost cured, but I think we got enough out of it that I can use this. Basically, just getting like a super dark brown and somewhat neutral. Did not open my medium. Better do what? Again, as always, I am horrible at following chat. This is the first stream on YouTube that I'm using the super low latency, so that in theory, chat is happening as you're hearing me. And I'm actually watching on the monitor, and there's only like, let's see, I'm gonna test this. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. There's only 2 Mississippis of delay between when I'm doing a thing and when you're, in theory, seeing it. Better like the stick. I mean, if I don't, it's still going to be a better stick than what I'm using now. And, I mean, it's objectively good. It's just, will it feel good to me? I mean, it's gonna work. It's gonna be a stick. There's only so much variation that can be in a fight stick. Especially like in other sticks other than like the Hori, top-notch Hori ones, they all use Sanwa parts. So you know that a Sanwa stick is going to feel like a Sanwa stick. You know that the buttons are going to feel like Sanwa buttons. This is actually the biggest departure from what I'm used to in like a decade since I've been playing fighting games. All right, so I'm going to put these moles in. They need to be relatively subtle. They have to look natural, not like it's just a black dot on the flesh. So the first one is right here. I also have to be careful that they're not just like super round. Sometimes moles are very round, but sometimes they're very, very not round. And if every single one is perfectly round, then you end up with very like unnatural looking skin. It's just not something you really want. So actually there are more than 2 on the arm. So we're going to put all of them in. We're going to make some more or less subtle than they are in the actual reference. We have one that's pretty obvious there. We have a much smaller one there. Super tiny one right here. Another relatively big one right here. I'm going to make this one a little more prominent. And then we have another one up here. It's kind of big. There we go. All right, so it looks like you can hardly even see them on camera, especially this one here. They're there, trust me. That took literally seconds. We don't have any on the legs, so we don't have to worry about that. There's also none on the other arm over here. All the ones on the neck and face are good. This might be a bit dark. Cool. The other person does not have any on their face. This hand is mine. I actually do. If we want to make it actually my hand, I do have actually quite a few, at least 3. Am I going to? Probably not. I'm not going to bother. I guess I don't really want it to be my hand, per se. So, we are so close. That means I can cross this off the list. And now we're mixing this light color, which is almost as scary as using my palette knife for the tattoos. It's new. It's not something I have done before. So, to mix this color, I'm going to mix some alizarin crimson with some cadmium red. Nah. Maybe a little bit. A little bit of cadmium red. And then, I guess I don't really want to desaturate it at all. So I'm going to see how this looks. We're going to add some weight to it. And it's probably going to be it. Let's see how it goes. I do have a backup alizarin crimson. I actually have a backup cadmium red too, and I'm not really sure why. I have 4 tubes of backup colors that I have not used yet. And all in that time, I've almost gone through an entire tube of cerulean blue that I bought at the same time as all those other backup colors. Cerulean blue is such a joke. It's like the weakest color in existence. Weakest in terms of like mixing ability. So, got alizarin crimson on the palette. Because this is literally going to take 5 seconds to mix, I'm not going to actually set up my camera. It's just not worth it. Be a little bit more of that on the palette. All right, so tiny little bit of cadmium in this. I think we need even more. Yeah, way more cadmium. Or do we? Maybe when I tint it, it will. We're gonna move on to tinting this. I have some white out already, but I definitely need more. So I'm going to take some of this, work it into the white. It's pretty much perfect. On there, it looks a little cool. So maybe we'll add a little bit more cadmium. We also need to add a little bit more hue in general. Because it's a bit too light as is now. As of now. I'm gonna make this even darker. Even more hue. Less white. Kind of want to mix like the local color of that light. Like what it would be if it wasn't light. If that makes sense. That seems cool as well. We'll add a little bit more cadmium. And then it still looks cool. I'm guessing this is some sort of like, yeah, I think it's because it's on the blue. I think it's like an optical illusion. But even there, it looks significantly cooler. I don't know, maybe I'm losing it. All right, we're gonna try this out. You might see me panic if it doesn't work. I think I need to change my my music here in my headphones. How about some Buried Alive? There we go. No panicking. I mean, I put 130 some hours into this. I'm gonna panic. But I'm so ready to start a new painting. I can't wait. This is the longest I've spent on a painting ever. I think. Like definitely like not just the 130 hours, but also like the like 2.5, 3 years I've been working on this in general. Which is crazy to think of. When this is done, it's going to be like the end of an era. All right. We're going to switch to my little filbert here, which I like this for coverage when I don't want super defined brush strokes, but maybe a few. I'm going to kind of smooth out any brush strokes that do actually show. But this I just want to cover. Also, I need to think about how much I want this to kind of emanate from this object. Wow, look how bad that looks. Like, this is reflecting too much, and this just looks like dirty. Light does some weird stuff. Like, real weird stuff. I can't get it there. Hey, how about that? How about we just get rid of it in general? It's a pretty good shot. It's the best my stream has looked in months. All right, so I want this pretty smooth, or pretty thin. So I'm using lots of medium. I want this thinner than milky, almost like not quite watery, but also not milky. And I'm actually going to clean out my brush because when you're mixing it into the medium, you tend to get way more in the brush than you want. So if you mix your medium into your blob of paint and then rinse it out, you know that you're going to have a more like uniform, like standard application of paint when you put it on your surface. So here we go. I actually want to mask this off. Where's my artist tape? I just got a whole bunch of rolls of it. There we go. Here's an almost dead one. So I'm just going to mask off the edges. I'm not worried too much about the middle of this thing. So we're gonna do that. If we have to make a more sophisticated mask, we'll do it, but I'd rather not. So that looks absolutely friggin' wild. We're gonna, as it approaches the sphere itself, it's going to be darker. So I'm gonna kind of have a thicker application there, and then it's going to feather out. I'm also going to wipe it off where it overlaps the sphere. So now I'm going to switch to whoa. Okay, we have results. Maybe more drastic results than intended. Jesus. Damn. This is working better than I could have imagined, and perhaps more than I wanted. So, I probably shouldn't do this yet, but I'm going to remove the mask. I'm glad I did, though. So we have some repairing to do. But that is looking interesting. Janet says, it's pretty. Thank you. It'll be a lot prettier once I fix this mask overflow issue. I guess the best way to do this is paper towel. Now it's going to look even better once this, it's not just emanating light, but also casting it elsewhere. Okay, cool. It's like it's softened, like it's no longer just like a harsh, high contrast circle. It's a soft, light emanating object, which is super cool. That's actually significantly easier than I was anticipating. So let me get some mineral spirits on this paper towel. Hopefully I do not take any of the dress color off. Cool. And here we go. Doesn't quite look the same. Like the way it looks on camera, it looks like the arm is affected much more than the dress. Cool. So, now that we've done that, I am going to cast a bit of this light on some real obvious places to start. So obviously the bracelet, I think, is a good one to start with. Really any of the jewelry or the super reflective surfaces. I don't know if I want to put some here on the necklace. It could potentially be blocked by the dress. I'll have to really think about that. Yeah, we may not do that. But we're going to have some in the nails. Definitely the nail. Let me think this through. Bracelet. Maybe on the very outer edge there. And I know I've been super excited to cast this light onto this back wall. So I'll probably do that too. Oh shit. The mineral spirits is separating the paint that's there on both sides. So I need to kind of separate that back and wipe off that mineral spirits. Is mineral spirits singular or plural? I mean, I know it's spirits, but like, you don't call any other liquid plural. It's so weird to talk about. Okay, switching to my super mega small brush. I'm still not completely satisfied with this, actually. I'm actually going to have a slight, like, wispy texture in this. It's kind of happening naturally. So we're just going to go with it. Man, this brush sucks. Why do I do this to myself? I know you can't see this right now. Just putting a little bit of the pink in some other places. Okay, so now I'm going to mask off this section up here. We're going to cast this light on the back wall. And then I'm going to have to subtly add the cast light everywhere else once I'm done with everything else. So I need to get super scientific here. So the lowest part would be the top of this across the top of that. So we're talking that. I don't really want to use charcoal here because that's going to be a line. Okay. So that's only at one specific point, which is going to be somewhat up there. and then we're going to have it curve down in again as this curves up. And at the tip right there, we're going to say it's right here. It's going to curve around. Okay. And then up somewhere around here, it's going to fade out. We're going to put a semi-abstract top, because this is already semi-abstract with all the brushwork in it. If you want to call it brushwork, it's really just a mess. But I'm going to mask this off so that I make sure that it's super clean. It is going to be line segments as always. I think it's super important that that is that way. How did I lose? Oh, it's right here in front of my face. So I'm going to mask this off. I should actually. There. It is so fine. I'm going to have to really put in work to make sure I'm seeing this completely. Also going to have to burnish it down a little bit better since the last mask job was nobliness and it bled quite a bit. Okay. No losing anything. I mean, I wasn't on purpose, that's for sure. This is not a great a great artist tape. I have better ones that are brand new, but I want to finish this one first. And then we just need to mask off this here. Hey, what's up, Under Siege? You see blobs? Yeah, you're gonna see blobs. We got some actually, I'm looking at this. Gotta fix that a little bit. But we got glowing, and it's working pretty well. You can see there. It's not casting much light yet. There's a reflection on the bracelet right next to it. We've got a reflection on the one fingernail, super subtle. And now I'm casting it over here on the wall very subtly. I'm just masking it off. Okay. And this is going to be subtle, but we do want it to be a bit like we want it to affect the composition. You need more watts? Stingy artists. I mean, any more watts and we're going to like completely cover the forearm. To be fair, it's actually more like prominent on camera. So it's actually more subtle than what you're seeing. But we'll get more watts when it's cast everywhere it's going to be cast. We're going to have it over here on the inner thigh. We're going to have it cast up here. I'm going to have to mask off some of the arm there so that I make sure that it's nice and clean. I don't think we really want it. We'll have it somewhere here. Maybe on the top of the thigh right there wouldn't be a bad idea. We could actually do that right now. And actually, we want a little bit of a cast shadow before that. Let me see if I can get some of this color from yesterday. It's probably cured by now, but I'm going to cast a little bit. Of a shadow here. Cool. Okay, let me think this through and make sure that this is, I think we want this at a more shallow angle there. Ooh, this is actually going to dip way more. I'm glad I checked this, because if we carry the top of this, where's my pencil? If we carry the top of this through the lowest part here, we're literally talking like here instead of where it's at. So we got some serious malfunction here. I am going to curve it a bit though. So we're gonna chop this off. Maybe somewhere around there. Somehow I got red on that. That brush comes from Nuremberg just after World War II. Light curves near gravity wells. Well, I don't think we have to worry too much about gravity wells in this particular scene. However, we do have to, why am I having trouble saying have? We do have to make this curve. So down here is where I had it. Where's my tape? Why am I losing my tape constantly? Yeah, the brush doesn't have to serve its purpose for much longer. So actually, I think we're gonna gently curve this down. This is the end of this tape. I don't like that. That's too much of a curve. We're going to save this tape, though. Okay. So we need to actually change the angle of this. I'm going to get a smaller piece. I think that, I'm not even showing it. And you can't see it anyway because it's literally white on white. But I just need one more piece. This is the last of the tape. Pepper taking your things. Under Siege says, game over, man, game over. Is that because of the brush or the tape? There we go. Cool. This is going to carry up to somewhere around here. Okay. And now it happens. And in this colored area is where my signature will potentially be. It might also be down here in the white. It might make more sense to be there. I don't like the signature being in like the top half. Something like it seems to add weight. And so if you put it in the top half, it kind of looks off balance. So the idea was for this to cast light like further down and my signature to be in it, but it looks like it's not going to happen. Either way, I need more medium. I'm going to make quite a bit of this stuff and then wipe my brush out. Okay. So this is going to take a lot of finger painting. Right now I'm just going to lay it in. As always, I'm painting from the tape to the panel. If you go from the panel to the tape, you're basically just forcing paint underneath it, and you're going to have a bad time. And my panel is going crazy from all this wild brushwork. I'm going to kind of mark where this is going to go to. So I'm I'm gonna do something a little different here. Let's skip this song. I don't think I want to use something absorbent here, but I think it will work once it's kind of like saturated. I'm actually going to wipe this down, I think, as much as I can. We're going to wipe off even more. Are we? You can hardly see that. It is way more visible. Maybe I'm going to keep it like that, though, because of how subtle it is here. I'm going to check it out. You can always wipe it off after it's unmasked. Should come from this angle, so it'll all come off in one piece. And like always, we're going to have cleaning to do. But that looks pretty cool. Raquel says, I like it. I'll like it a lot more once I get this cleaned up. I'm going to get a new paper towel. Okay, this is a little too saturated. Got a little carried away. Cool. So you can't see this at all, which is crazy because it's actually pretty harsh. Let me see if I can get this. All right, so super subtle in the long run, but it's just going to make the room that much more unified in terms of lighting. One thing I didn't account for was the backrest, which I think I should. Okay. I should have masked more off than I did. Hopefully I can even get this off and I don't just destroy it. But we're going to take There we go. Cool. So that's not all of the cast light we're going to have some mostly here in the dress, but next week I'm hoping that the tattoo is cured enough that I can work the lights and darks back into that leg. This will probably be cured enough that I can glaze that, and we could potentially finish next week. 2 weeks is the absolute max. So I'm debating if I'm going to go back to Twitch on Monday or just stay on YouTube, because to be honest, YouTube seems to be much more inviting. So I'm tempted, but I think I'm going to still do Twitch on Monday. And then maybe with the new painting, I might just do one final blast on Twitch and make the change permanent. It sucks. It really sucks moving from Twitch because of everything I put into it in terms of like the about graphics and subscriber icons and all that stuff. But I think it has to be done. So I'm going to wrap it up there for this week. Thanks as always for watching. Because we're now on YouTube, don't forget to like. Even though it's a stream, it still acts like a video, and likes tell YouTube to show it to other people, which helps me out a ton. So as always, thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. If you want more, please subscribe. If you hit the little bell icon, you'll get notified when I go live. Because I don't think you get notified when I go live if you just subscribe normally. YouTubers are a specialized type of plumbers. Plumbers. I mean, I do dabble in the plumbing arts myself. But Twitch just isn't working. I feel like Twitch just makes no effort to like show people new streams. They kind of just want people to watch the same ones they always do. And that kind of screws over the little guy. And I've seen my metrics go progressively down and down and down. And so far in 2 weeks of streaming on YouTube, I've seen them go up just a little bit, but up. So it's got to happen. I feel like Twitch is I blame DeMonte. Yeah, it's all DeMonte's fault. He's stealing all the viewers. Just I can't get any. He's stealing them all, keeping them to himself. But seriously, Twitch just isn't the right audience. I mean, I found some good fans, some good homies on Twitch, but I'm not painting anime waifus, or gaming. I love Twitch. I love watching Twitch, but it's not for me to stream on. So I will be back on. That being said, I'm going to be on Twitch next Monday. But I will be back on Twitch. We're going to get really close to finishing this. After the signature, I doubt I'm going to do it on stream unless for whatever reason it's interesting, but I need to paint the side of the panel. Right now it's white, which you can't really see unless I take this thing off, which will not be enjoyable. So you'll have to trust me on that. I'll probably finish that on stream, and then like a week or two, probably 2 weeks. I'll be starting my next painting. I'm going to be starting the composition in Illustrator, chopping up people online, and putting them into my machination for some reason my bit rate is dying, and I don't know why. So hopefully the stream's still going. WTF is an anime walrus? Not quite a walrus, but an anime waifu is I think it's like it started off as like a semi like inappropriate mispronunciation of wife. If you say wife in a Japanese accent, it's waifu. And it's kind of like this creepy anime thing where people get overly obsessed with anime waifus. And if you look at the art section of Twitch, 90 to 95% of what you're going to be looking at is anime waifus. But in my books, they might as well be an anime walrus. So, that's it. Potentially finish next week, start the next painting the week after. Composition in Illustrator on my PC one of those days. I know that there were people on Twitch that were asking for that, so I want to make sure that I'm on Twitch before that to make sure I can give one final announcement if anyone gets it. As always, thank you. Like if you liked, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will be back next week. Have a good week, everybody, and I will see you next time. Later.